You know, it feels to me like this is not really about the words, especially the way Rēja has explained it. Is more, even when Helen received it, she didn't get the actual words it said. And so it's the energy of the words. Isn't that the truth about it? That the words are just there as like maybe a scaffolding on which to hang the energy of what is being transmitted to us, which we needed words to be able to.
Yes, Ariel, I think you're right. It's definitely the feeling that the words do give. However, we're in this, and Christian Sundberg is the perfect person to learn about the realm that we're in, because he describes it so perfectly. We're limited, we're limited in this 3D, and we are learning to exist in that limitation. And in spite of the limitation, because what is bigger than that is the pure conscious awareness. And so, yes, the pure conscious awareness, when we say things, when we hear a word or we read, that pure conscious awareness, we give everything all the meaning that it has. Yes. However, certain words are going to bring up certain ideas that and beliefs that we have instilled in ourselves, like the word soul. Soul is precious. I love the word soul, and it does bring up a very specific meaning. So I think yes and no. Yes, the words, and no, it's we bring meaning to it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your presentation and for your clear evolution of the course as it came along. My question involves the idea of integration of, you've given us the history of the integration of the course, of how it evolved, and how we can, as students of the course and students of life, integrate that in other communities so that we can join in with other communities and share in the deliciousness of both this course and other courses that share common purposes. Thank you.
Oh. Well, thank you, Charles. Thank you. It's a collaborative venture. That's what Helen and Bill said, right? And so we are collaborating on remembering who we are, and we'll take it wherever we can get it, whatever sings to our soul. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I would like to, none of us is ever in danger. Could you explain that we are never in danger?
Oh, explain why we're never in danger?
Yes, because,
yeah. Very beautiful question, right? And it all comes down to your, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Who could, now, if you identify, he tells us, identify with love and you are safe. Identify with love and you are home. If you, and when you identify with love, which is all-encompassing, has no beginning, has no end, you need not defend yourself against anything. You are an eternal being. You are never in danger. You will never end. It's only the limitation that we have bought. We bought into that we are a body. And of course, if you identify with the body, then there may be danger. But that is not who we are. And in fact, Christian Sundberg says that we're not in our bodies having an experience. Our bodies are within our pure conscious awareness. Our bodies are the experience that is going on in that pure conscious awareness. That conscious awareness envelops everything. It enfolds everything. Isn't that beautiful? It just fills me with joy. He said your job here is JOB, is the joy of being. And I hope I answered your question. It's really focused on identity.
So we're not talking about a physical danger.
That's right, because
Okay.
I'll tell you, I have a personal experience. I was attacked once. I could have been killed, and I don't know how it happened, but I was able to move out of my identity as a body. He could have killed me, and it would be okay. All I came from was a communion with him, a communication with him, an identity, a union with him, and I was at peace, completely at peace. He could not continue his attack. And it came from that shift to the ground of being and away from my body. I didn't, and he could have, the thing is, he could have killed me, and it's okay, because you cannot, there is no death. The Son of God is free. Truly, truly.
Yes, very interesting presentation. There is a difference between immortal and eternal, where immortal, you are created and you then you live on. Eternal is you were not created and you, of course, always will be. What does the Course in Miracles say about that in terms of where we came from? Are we immortal or are we eternal?
Oh, well, thank you. Thanks for your question. We were definitely created. We were created as a thought in the mind of God. And I think of it as being an aspect of the infinitude. Now, we were created, and that which was created, it's such a paradox, because it was never born and will never die, but it was created. You know, that which will die, the Course doesn't, that's not created. You know, and it's an experience, actually, it's an experience in that which is creation, is life itself.
Studied the Course many years ago. Back in Chicago, I was there for 20 years, and a lot of the Unity Church of Christianity ministers use it from the pulpit. A couple of our ministers went to the Endeavor Academy, which is here in Wisconsin, and so I have a little bit of experience with the Course. But my conjecture is that because of the language of the Course, it seems to be targeted at intellectuals. If you look at where it came from, you know, to highly educated university people, and look at the language and everything, I think for many people, many common people, it's hard to understand. That's why I'm glad you made the connection with Christian Sundberg. And I've seen him 3 or 4 times now in many interviews, and I totally agree. He is translated, I think, the core of the Course into a more common everyday understanding. So what do you think about my conjecture? Is the Course really designed for intellectuals? And that's what it seems like, because a lot of people don't understand it.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people say the Course is very much in the head, you know, that it's sometimes you read it and you go, what did that just say? And a lot of people are saying that A Course of Love is the heart, and that seems so true. And I would say that going further, Choose Only Love is such a combination of head and heart. It's so perfect. I mean, here we have the head, intellectual, psychologist bringing it through, you know. Then we got the Course of Love, and just heartfelt. It's just amazing. It's so beautiful. And then we have Choose Only Love, which I think is, I just sometimes just want to weep when I'm reading it. It's just so beautiful. It seems to be a combination of the head and the heart. And then we have Christian. And Christian, like I said, he doesn't have the word Christ anywhere in his book, and yet it's magnificent because he talks about all of these principles and of the other 3 books. So a little bit of something for everyone. So thanks for your observation. I totally agree.
Thank you. Yeah. I've been trying to frame my question here for a while, but I mean, this is so much information that has been provided to us as a gift, I guess, right? But it makes me wonder, you know, we are eternal beings having a human existence here on the earth. And it seems that, you know, we've been put blinders on so that while we're here on earth, we focus on, you know, what we're here for, the experience of living on this earth. So my question is, you know, what is the real purpose of giving us this information during our lifetime here? And does it kind of take away from what we really should be doing, you know, living every day on this planet?
Oh, wow, Tom, thanks. Actually, it's too funny. I think this information is helping me. I don't know about you, but it's truly helping me remember why I came. And I see this now. I'm separating myself. I'm not in the illusion, you know, that this is all there is. This is just a blip on the screen. I know that I really know deeply that I chose to come here, to be limited, to come specifically to this dimension. This is a very tough dimension, as Christian describes it, and as we know. But this helps me to remember who I truly am, and that with that, the power of source, I chose to limit myself. I'm not at the effect of this realm. I purposely came here to be, and the Course says, to be the light in the seeming dark. That's why I came. So all of these helped me tremendously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Gloria, would you like to go ahead and ask your question, please?
Yes, thank you. And thank you for your presentation. I heard I'm pretty sure it was a Jesuit priest give a presentation, and he actually said, and I've not forgotten this because it kind of jolted me, that Jesus was the man Jesus, and that Christ is the body of all of us who believe in him. And Christ does not refer to an individual. And I'm asking you, is that your interpretation, or are you calling Jesus Christ? Because that's what the priest said it isn't. And I'm just curious.
Oh, sure. Yes. Well, Jesus the Christ, actually. Jesus the Christ, or Gloria the Christ, Rēja the Christ. You know, so we're slowly waking up to the idea that we are the Christ. In the Course of Miracles, it said the second coming of Christ will be within all of us. That's the second coming. When we open, that's the resurrection. That's accepting the atonement. It's accepting who you are.
Yes, I would. Thank you for letting me speak here.
Welcome.
I'm going to take us maybe just a little bit off course, try not to be too long with my question.
Yes, please.
I was an initial student of the course in the early 1990s for more than 7 or 8 years, dropped out for a decade, having to do other things, got back in it 7 or 8 years ago. But at the same time, while attending a Unity church locally here, I was introduced to the Urantia book. And I don't think there are many students probably viewing this web talk that are familiar with the Urantia book. I am not discounting the value of understanding it, but what I'm trying to do is to some degree integrate the teachings of Urantia, particularly the last quarter of the book, which talks about Jesus and his mission here. And also the one thing I do like about the Urantia book, Orientation on Life, is having a thought adjuster which is somebody who can help correct your inappropriate or misunderstanding of who you really are. So I would like to know what our presenter here, if she has some familiarity with your Rēja book, how she feels that it potentially integrates instead of two books and being separate. I seem to be doing is integrating the two, that there's a blessing for me in both of them.
I think that's wonderful. I think that's wonderful to experience that blessing, because I think it's available to us in so many different curriculums and information that's coming through, not just Rēja, you know. So, and the thought adjuster, yeah, I mean, you could call it whatever, the Holy Spirit. I mean, you could see the connection there. But yeah, I think it is a blessing. It's a blessing wherever we see truth, or we resonate with what's being said.
Oh, thank you very much for taking my question. I've already been in this presentation about half an hour ago, so I missed a lot of the previous presentation, but I wanted to just kind of respond real quickly to some of the stuff that came up. One was the man asked about the mind versus the heart. And I think the mind is important because that's the one that makes a decision whether to love or whether to choose separateness or to choose guilt, choose fear, choose the idea of separation. So that's really important. I was asking about creation because my belief is that when I read the Course in Miracles is that only what God creates is real. And only what God creates with his creation is real. And whatever I do on my own, whatever I think on my own is not creation, even though I might believe in it. So it's not real. It doesn't even exist. Could the Reverend kind of respond to, you know, the ideas about fear and all that, that's actually not real? It doesn't even exist.
Actually, I know it's an argument or a concept that a lot of people have trouble with, as far as existence, I guess, the existence of misthought, misperception, ego. And I think that's what I was expressing with this enfolding of the ego. I believe there's only one thing going on, and that when we know that, we can enfold and we can embrace the misperception. We can embrace what we made out of error. See, it's still in the house of love. It's not outside. And that way we can bring it back to love by embracing it.
Would you please address, it seems to me, how this includes other cultures, other religious beliefs, for example, Buddhists, Muslims, and Jewish population? It sounds to me on the surface this is very exclusive to Christianity. Would you please address that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I believe it's okay. Yeah, I think Christian Sundberg had mentioned that as well. See, the thing is that yes, it's the Course of Miracles and the Course of Love and Choose Only Love, very Christian. The only thing is that the same principles are expressed with Christian. And like I said, he doesn't use the word Christ. In fact, he opened up to these memories of his pre-birth existence through meditation. And I think that if people, no matter what religion, that truth is truth. It's the same, and it will come through them in a language that they are open to. But they will hear the truth because it's all mind, it's all soul, it's all one. Truth is one. your conscious experience is itself.
Well, basically, it's just a quick statement. I was introduced to the Course in Miracles about 30 years ago. And although I didn't stay with it for one reason or another, even today, there is one part of it that stays with me forever that I got out of the book that to me was the essence of the book. And that was, there is no hate, there's only love or fear. And especially nowadays, you know, we're all seeing a lot of fear in our society. And people are becoming very fearful about everything. And that keeps coming back to me, like, you can choose to be in fear or be in love, you know, and I get to make that choice. And it's been really a godsend to me, just that sentence about it that is the most important aspect of that book.
Oh, thank you. That's so true. Yeah, it's like love or call for love, you know, when you look at it that way. And the Course says, you know, you have appreciation for your brother, appreciation for everything. You're either able to extend your love to something that's calling for love, you know, or just, you know, just bask in the love that you're sharing. You know, you appreciate the chance to extend love, to be loved. Oh, well, I'm just blessed. Thank you for this opportunity, you know, to share. It means so much to me. And
I'm sorry, I muted myself instead of unmuting. Reverend Rēja, great to see you again. Really enjoyed your presentation. Been many years since I really delved into the Course, but this was brought some of the salient points back. So it was really good to hear it refreshed again. But lots of love to you, and thank you for your time.
You know, we've had this group, we had it in person before the pandemic. Then, you know, we had to go to Zoom. My husband facilitates, I co-facilitate. And we just kept it within the people that pretty much are in Omaha, you know, that used to meet in person. And then I've been sharing about it more widely, and more people are coming, and it's just wonderful. We have such wonderful energy. We had a person from Africa, and from Modesto from Venezuela, and all over Bahamas. Couple people from Omaha. Anyway, the way you can come, anyone, it's, you know, it's open to absolutely anyone. You can go to our website, which is, and I can put it in the chat, jcim.net,